Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction for No Game, No Life, Zero. It is the second part of the movie. As always, you can feel free to go and watch it. How you do it? Easily. Into the description down, there's a link. You just replace the circumflex dot parts with real dots, and you can see my reaction. Once you've done, please come back here, hear out my thoughts about this episode, what I thought about it, and well, see you soon. For those of you that came back, welcome back. What an awesome movie, right? I mean, holy shit. There's so much in it. I really struggle to keep all of it in my head. It is really nice. I really like it. I see a lot of the characters which we've seen and always try to think who they resemble, who they are. As example, the big sister in many ways reminds me of Stephanie Dora. In many ways, not in all, but in many. And yeah, I think it is pretty clear by now that Sora and Shiro are Rico and Shui. There's no question. It's the main couple. It's the two of them, and it is a promise to always be together. I think they made it somehow through all of existence to keep this promise. One might guess that maybe Ted has something to do with it. I mean, he's a god. We haven't still seen him, but so let's watch out what's going to happen. So let's jump in what happened. There was so much information, so much interesting things. We started off with Shui sitting on top of Rico. Okay, so he made her promise never to leave his side. And she just used it as like, I sit on you so you see me. I'm not sure whether she did that on purpose or if it is really her nature that she just doesn't get some concepts of intimacy, but it was funny. We could definitely learn in this moment that the big sister is kind of a creep. She is completely in for it. She likes the fact that they possibly have some kind of more than just relationship. At this moment, she did not catch yet that Shui is an ex machina, so she thought she is just a woman, a girl. But she was still watching while they were sitting on top of each other. I mean, you normally close the door, but she was watching. So I think that's multiple things. It's the way that she just is. She likes this romance and intimacy moments, and the other thing is, I think she, as being the big sister, really wants to have a little brother, to have a relationship, to have someone he loves and that loves back, and to have something good in his life, because from what we've seen so far, his life is more neither a tragedy, no question there, so I can understand that. We had Shui opening up a lot in this part. So she confessed that she, however, does not want to do him any harm. She stated she wants to learn about the heart, and in the end she does now. In a way that possibly she didn't see coming. So that was nice. We had the big sister finding a hair of Shui, so I guess from this moment on she possibly knew what's going on, and she did not tell on her. I mean, you might guess that possibly in a world like that, if she would have talked to the other humans, there might have been an uproar against her. Not sure though, but possibly being an ex machina, I think a lot of them lost beloved ones, their homes and whatever due to the machines. As we know now, the whole city that at least some of them lived in was destroyed by exactly Shui, which is a big one. So, however, they Shui and Rico went to an emergency shelter of the elves where something is hidden in. Possibly a weapon. I'm not sure if it is really a weapon. Something big for sure, called Akashianze or Akashianze. Not completely sure about the pronunciation here. He cannot read it completely, so we don't know what it is. it's possibly a weapon or something alike, something really big and important. However, they couldn't get further into, and we learned that Shui is able to absorb, analyze, and reflect attacks, which is, I mean, that's more neither indestructible there. That is what she did in the past, that destroyed the town where Rico was living in. So it was not that she aimed at the town, it was collateral damage. So those dragon attacks, she absorbed them and reflected them, and she didn't reflect them towards the dragons, she reflected it to the grounds, and it hit the city. This seems to be the constant theme in this world, that the big races, the gods and their kin, so the god of the elves and the elves, the god of the dwarves and everyone, they are fighting against each other, and very often they fight in human territories, which causes this collateral damage. If there is a god of humans, I mean, he was named, but he seems to be extremely weak or non-existent at all. So they are, well, they are the ones, the bystanders, they are the civilian casualties all the time. That's why humanity is about to be wiped out, because they are fighting with their big weaponry, with their big bombs, with dragon attacks and whatever, in their country. So that can't go good. Yeah. They then were stuck in the storm, and Shui once again asked to play chess. So we learned that by now, very likely she felt pity after what happened, which is interesting, because being an ex machina, she shouldn't be. So one might ask if she really wanted to study the heart, or if there was already something happening, that she already had some kind of emotions. I'm not sure about that, and in the end it doesn't really matter if she may have had like a small defect or anything which causes her to feel at least a bit and want to explore more of it, or if she just wanted to explore because of the things that happened. I'm not sure. She is there now, and I think it is the thing that turned it all. The combination of those two, the fact that Shui wants to know about the heart, about emotions, about everything, out of whatever reason. And the fact that Rico is someone who can forgive what happened in the past. And that's a big one, to forgive something like that. And accepts her as she is, and strangely enough learns to love her as she is, and realizes that he has fun with her being around, that he feels, and there we are with the blank more complete, like they belong to each other. That's the thing that we had with the blank. Those two were not really, they were not married or anything, they were not a couple or anything like that. They just felt complete when the other one was around. They couldn't be alone without the other one. So this is where it's coming from here. And he asks a big question: what else can we do than survive? So they cannot really fight back at all. They are struggling for survival, but even then, if they survive, this world is about to be destroyed. At least their country is about to be destroyed due to the fighting that is happening. And so even if someone survives, the world that the person survives in is not really worth it, you know? So he asks, what else is there? And she replied, what do you want? What do you desire? And he doesn't know. He really doesn't know. Those were the first moments that we've seen him, however, laughing and smiling when she was around. They played their games of chess, and they went for this percentage chance, logic and everything, versus the heart. The fact that he is playing chess against her, although he never wins, because she cannot always win. There will be one day when he will win. That's his guess. He pushes himself to extremes, and he realizes that it is nice not to be alone, and that together, the two of them together, would possibly do something that no one else had seen coming before. Once again, we are going in for the couple. And make the world more interesting. That is a major thing. So I think in this moment he got his plan. He had the whole map of the world because she helped him. He realized that when they were working together with her help, he's able to achieve so much more. He gets all those parts of the map of the world which he struggled so much before quite easily. He understands what is going on in the world in general due to her help. So, and that's a major thing. He gets the playing field. He knows the whole game that is played. It is war, but in the end it is kind of a game, he states. And here we are. If it is a game and you know the rules, then you have a chance of winning. He sees that in his position, the position of mankind, by playing by the rules, they cannot win. None at all. And so he does something incredibly cool. He creates the ghosts. And he sets up rules, which is like a little bow to the 10 rules we had later on in the world. He creates the rules of the ghosts. And I think that there are 3, 4, 5, 6 rules. But the first one is don't kill. That's a big one. I mean, that's the one rule that we had in the world of Ted later on. There's no need to kill anyone, you know? There is no violence allowed. So don't kill. Don't allow someone to die if you can stop it, right? Don't be caught. That is about being the ghost. So make sure humanity survives, because if the others realize the ghosts are humanity, then that might be a problem. And all tactics are allowed. And that's a major one, because that means you don't have to play by the rules they play. They can go fighting. We cheat. And then obey the rules in the end. So that's a major thing. He's going to cheat in gaming. And we had that in the world later on. Cheating was okay if you are not caught. And that's a major thing. So he goes into this war with the concept of a game, and it's fitting if you see the series later on. I like the fact that his comrades who join him tell him, who's the biggest fool of them all? It is the one that leads the fools. Nice one. And he plays Ashante. Nice. He explains to Shui the idea of cheating, because she cannot get it in the end. I mean, she's a machine, so how should she get it? So you have a d6. Sure, if you roll, there's a 1 in 6 times you roll the number you want, the 6 here. But what if someone replaces it with a die which has on each side a 6? Yes, it is cheating. So what? If it's the only way of surviving, they will do it, and they do. I like it. And he then asks her, which is a nice setup, you know, for a proposal. He asks, how are the chances of this, that we are winning, but how are the chances that I would confess my love to you? And she, by the things she knows at this moment, calculates it's close to 0. Possibly getting in that she's a machine, he cannot procreate with her, the fact that she destroyed his home, which he doesn't know in her opinion, and all this stuff alike. And he proposes to her. In the beginning, it felt to me a bit like he's doing it just to prove his point, but you can see later on that he really, really means it. He really fancies her, in the meaning of that he feels complete with her. And even when she confesses to him that she destroyed his hometown, he's not stopping. He says, I kind of guessed it, you know? And it makes sense. Which other machine would come by and try to play a game of chess with you than the one that saw you as a little kid playing chess and then running away with a chess game as you destroyed everything? It can only be a machina that was in this place at this time. So he already knew it. And yeah, there's the question if she does what she does by pity or not. It's a question, but really it doesn't matter. So they're getting married by the big sister, which I like once again. And while he is a little bit clumsy in his proposal then, in his words of marriage, she is awesome. I mean, the little speech from her, it's just some lines, but that was awesome. It is you gave a heart to me. Now, it's not that she understands the heart. She feels that she has one now. She has feelings, she has emotions. She wants to help him. So he kind of made her human, one might say. I'm not sure about the stone carving. The fact that the sister said the three of them will have one name now. I guess it is about the last name, but I'm not sure. But it is fitting. And she was not surprised at all of her being an ex machina. She knew it, and she did open it to the two of them to show her full support. It is family, you know, that's a nice gesture. Then we went into the next storyline. I could have, possibly even should have stopped it there, because that was a nice ending. But we already went in for what his plan is, how he's going to do it. So the ghosts are moving out, and he does as well. And he is talking to some of the major war parties. So he's talking to the werebeasts about that the dwarves plan an attack on them, so that they flee. So there are no more casualties. He gives an info to the dwarves about that the elves will do something. He gives an info to the elves about the fact that the dwarves know about the Akassin, which, well, how could they, you know? And so he's doing different things. On the major thing to him is, oh, wrong one, here, that he gets all those parties out of the human settlement areas. So there's no more collateral damage. He plays the parties against each other, in my opinion. He uses knowledge, which he has, and he's even able to trick the elves who try to read him by magic by putting in this dark dust, the black dust, which will possibly kill him, as it looks right now. And he does all of this so that there are less casualties, and hopefully the war is about to end. So it's the first step. He just got it that they went out of human territories. But he already made a name now for the ghost fraction. And he even stated in the ending here, this is the first step. This kind of game, by intelligence, he might win. That is the one that he can win. We will see what's going to happen. The question is, we know from the future series that the gods were beaten. So all of those fractions are building incredibly powerful weapons who are, as it seems, strong enough to kill a god. What if they all shoot at the same time and all the gods die, or at least are getting weakened so much? What if? I guess that's what we are going for, and he's maybe going for it. So in his opinion, the ones that are to blame are the gods, because they allow this war. They even further this war just to prove they are better than the other gods. And everyone else has to suffer for it. I can see his point. So if someone is doing something like this, then he cannot really be considered God anymore. So, next time. Next time, well, I guess he will play on with this kind of intelligence game. I hope they will be able to keep him alive somehow. Thus, the next time will be the last part of the movie. I really wait for Ted to show up, because I'm still not absolutely sure how he comes to be. And, well, the interesting questions are, how will Ted appear? And how will he, Ted, or in this case the blank, be able to end this war? How does he do it? Big one. So, that's it for this time. I hope you enjoyed. I did for sure. I really like the movie so far. And I will see you the next time. And until then, please feel free to comment, to like and subscribe. Feel free to visit my Patreon or my Facebook page. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.